Calling detention is there. Kate Harrison. Why is she on there?
Because she's handling a 17.032 for one of the cases.
Oh, here's a exhibit sheet.
Leah.
We only have, we have 2 pleas and then
Leah Barbara.
Two pleas and then the mental health stuff.
Yes, but Matt Goheen, one of his mental health, it also has 2 pleas. Capello.
this is Birdsong.
Acapella. I'm waiting for you to.
Birdsong and Dan Walt.
Yeah.
Connecting.
Yep. Tony. Well, is Leah on one of the mental health?
Yes, she's got 2 of them.
I think I'm going to do Leah's. She has 3 of them, right? She has that Ugawani.
And Kate on that one.
There's Zan. He's on mental health too, though, right?
No, he's on Birdsong.
That's good.
Let's go do his first.
Can we have bird song? Can we have bird song when you get a chance?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Bird song. when you get a chance.
Bird song. Okay, ladies, we want to stop talking. That's the bird song. Have a seat right here for me.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me this cause be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, help you God.
Yes, sir.
Is your true name Laren Anthony Birdsong?
LaRon, yes, sir.
Ron? And do you understand you're charged with failure to ID?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to go over this case with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand we're doing this plea electronically and your attorney is online with us right now?
Yes, sir.
To the charge of failure to ID, how do you plead?
No contest.
They want either guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
All right, accept your plea guilty, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 days in jail. You'll get credit for 28 days. You should be time served as of right now, okay? Do you have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
See ya. Do you have something else, Zane?
I do not, Judge. I was just wondering how long my client was gonna stay in the chair.
No, I'm out of here.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Later. All right. Let's see who else we have. Well, I'm gonna bring Leah in. I'm going to do one of the mental health ones. Are y'all?
Okay, who's next?
I think it's.
Good morning.
Good
Are
morning.
y'all? I'll go woo. We. So you said.
Renisha?
Yes, I think she said it was Owuji.
A Wuji?
Right. Renisha? Come on.
All right. How do you say your name?
The last name,
Yes.
it's Ogunji, but when
Ogunji.
Africans say it, it's Ogunyi, but Ogunji.
A Woonie? Okay. All right. We're here on a 17032 motion. And do I have a copy of the mental health assessment? And did you want to call your client?
Yes, please.
All right. If you would, raise your right hand and be sworn.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm testimony about giving this cause be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Renisha Nicole Ogunji.
And you're presently confined for 3 charges. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay, one's a misdemeanor resisting and 2 felony harassment of public officers or public servants, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Can I say something to you that I didn't get to tell you? I was sexually.
Really the appropriate time. This is just
Yes,
about
ma'am.
on. So
Yes,
tell me, have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health disease or disorder or any issues?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
What are those diagnoses?
I've been diagnosed as having major depression and also bipolar manic too. Yes, ma'am.
Were you prescribed medications for these issues?
Yes, ma'am. I had to stay for almost a week before I came. There was Depakote and Risperidone. Yes, ma'am.
Where did you stay a week before you got to jail?
At Medical City of Plano. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but was that the first time you've been diagnosed with mental health issues?
No, ma'am, it's not. I've been treated for the last 10 years. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me the different facilities that you've been to get treatment for these issues.
This last hospital stay was, well, I hadn't been in several years. Because like I told you, I was trying to do some more services for CPS because they're getting ready to terminate my parental rights if I'm still in here within the next month. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But have you been to Metro Care before?
Yes, ma'am. Several times over the last maybe 5 to 6 years. Yes, ma'am.
And Life Path?
I've never been to Life Paths. I took one of my kids for services. Yes, ma'am. But not for myself. No, ma'am.
Okay, because in your mental health assessment, it looks like either somebody misunderstood, but it says that you reported having treatment through Metro Care and Life Path.
No, ma'am. I've never received treatment from Life Path for anything.
Okay.
Several months before coming to jail, I had to take one of my children there as a requirement through CPS to where I was going 3 to 4 times a week. But that's for my 12-year-old. It's not for me.
Okay. It also states, and it's got your name on it. Patient reported Life Path discharged her 2 years ago because she no longer needed medications.
No, that is, what is it? Metro Care Services, the 9708 Skillman, that clinic is where I receive services. They would call me every 2 to 3 months. I wasn't ordered to take any type of medications or anything. To where I'm not denying the fact that I have issues, I have problems, but no, ma'am, I was not. Before the police decided to write up these bogus charges, no, ma'am, I was not prescribed any medication. No, ma'am. They called every 2 to 3 months. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the purpose of this mental health bond is if you were to get out, that you would receive mental health treatment. And if that includes being prescribed medications, are you prepared to follow through with that plan?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm also willing, I think it was a misunderstanding yesterday, but I do have a problem with a substance. I am willing to do intensive outpatient. If that means going 3 to 4 times a week to the clinic on Alma, I have no problem with that. If it's NA, AA, I have no trouble with that at all. I don't.
If you were released on bond, who would take you to those appointments, or do you have transportation?
Right now, because I have domestic violence issues, I would prefer to take the bus, even if that means I have to go from Dallas to, because more than likely I would be living in Oak Cliff to where either I could get myself so far and get to the clinic because I know where it is. And that's why I was trying to, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have no problem with that.
Who would you be staying with in Oak Cliff?
The person I was dating before I came in, yes, ma'am. Because we had talked about things prior to coming here, but I wasn't expecting to come in jail.
Okay, does this person have a name?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
What's his name?
Bobby Anderson.
Does Bobby Anderson know that you're planning on staying with him if you get out?
Yes, this is my brother. My brother is on parole to where I just wanted to try to stay there, to where we talked about an amount of what would be expected of me. Because with CPS taking my children, I have to be within the family, like, certain things that they're asking.
I'm sorry, are you staying with your brother or with Bobby?
Yes, no, Bobby Anderson, to where my how do I say it? My birth name is Anderson. My brother's Anderson, to where he lives, him and his girlfriend, and she has a daughter that's there, and I'm so sorry.
Tell me you were going to stay with a person you used to date.
Yeah, but it's like that person is not gonna want their name on anything. So that's why my brother, we spoke yesterday on the phone, me and Bobby.
Okay.
So where no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to either do Uber or Lyft to get back and forth to court, and I know that.
But you think that you can handle all the responsibilities and terms and conditions of this bond?
Yes, ma'am, because I did a bond like this, similar to something in Dallas for something. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Um, I just want to be able to do the requirements CPS are requiring. I'm not kidding.
Okay, and you also said that you would be willing to do like Homeward Bound or Nexus.
Yes, ma'am. It's just within the next month, I have to respond to the courts, and the 8700 North Stemmons Freeway. My caseworker is Cashel Taylor, and I have to let them know something.
Okay.
I have to let them. Yes, ma'am. I have no problems. If you say Nexus, if you say Homeward Bound, I have no trouble with going. I just need to get in contact with that caseworker so she doesn't think that the child that's in foster care, because I'm the only parent for both of my girls.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Does Dave have any questions? You're muted.
Yes, Your Honor. Hi, Renisha. My name is Kate Harrison. I'm a prosecutor for the state. Is it okay if I call you Renisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your past medication. You have or haven't been prescribed medication for your mental health problems?
No, I have been prescribed medications. I've always had something for maybe, how do I put this, anxiety or depression. And I've always been prescribed something for sleep. Because in the
Okay.
past, I haven't wanted to take stuff like Seroquel because it was too much. To where
Mhm.
there's always been Risperidone, and there's always been something prescribed as an antidepressant, because I can't tell you the exact names of the medicines, but there were some tablets that either I would take a full pill or either I would take half of a pill that MetroCare prescribed. I can't tell you the name because it was something
Okay.
for sleep. I can't tell you the name.
And that's okay. I was just curious if you ever had trouble taking that medication, or if you ever, just refused to take it.
No, I
Hang
haven't
on.
refused. I've never had to take injections until I went to the hospital, because sometimes I would get so upset within the first few days of being there to where I was given shots before coming to the jail. But here, I do take the medications. I do. But I
Okay.
have had days where I'm upset, or I may not take it at night. But I really don't need anything to help me sleep. But if I'm required to, I will go for services and take it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You mentioned that you have domestic issues, and so you would prefer to take the bus. Who were those domestic issues with? Was that with your brother, Bobby Anderson, or with?
No, the person I'm legally married to, because there was an incident that the police were trying to figure out what happened. He hit me with my car. He took my car.
Okay. And is that the man you were seeing before coming in? Is that who you
No,
after
no,
you
to where I'm legally married to someone, but I was receiving services through the Texas Muslim Women Foundation, to where in order to get my kids back, they helped me because CPS refused to give them back if my husband and I were living together or doing anything together. So,
Okay.
no.
But you do not, are you intending to live with him in any way?
No, ma'am, because I already know if I go back there, the minute I decide to, because of where he'll take the medications and call the police. No, ma'am, I don't plan on going there.
Okay. And I just want to clarify, your brother is Bobby Anderson and he's on parole right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the other man that you were seeing right before you came into jail, are you going to see him? Are you going to try and have a relationship with him?
Yes, because that's who I was with before I came to jail. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a chance you're going to live with him as well?
Yes, because we talked about living together, but I still have to go pack up my stuff because the foundation may still be willing to help me at the 651 West 16th Street, but I won't know that until I'm able to speak with Fatiha. She's an Indian caseworker through the program. And it's just those people with the foundation for the last year, just to make sure I didn't have to be with my husband, they helped pay all the bills at my place, except for like my light bill.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
Anything else from the defendant? You're muted.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, we offer State's Exhibit 1. It was submitted to the court yesterday afternoon. That is the,
And I have that. I've read it, the probable
Okay.
cause affidavit.
okay.
I've read that.
Okay, as long as you have that, we would offer State's Exhibit 1. And then we would like to read into the record the criminal history.
Ooh. Ooh,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Ooh. Ooh, it's long.
All right. On March 6th of 2000, the defendant was arrested for burglary of a building. It was when she was a juvenile. That was adjudicated and she was put on 1-year probation. On September 12th of 2000, when the defendant was a juvenile, she was arrested for burglary of a building. That was adjudicated and she was placed on 1-year probation. On December 17th of 2000, when the defendant was a juvenile, she committed the offense of escaping while she was confined, criminal trespass, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. We do not have dispositions on those incidents. On December 18th of 2000, when the defendant was a juvenile, she was arrested for assault causing bodily injury and criminal mischief. We know that those were referred, but we don't have a disposition on those. On February 8th, 2002, when the defendant was a juvenile, she committed the offense of assault causing bodily injury. And she pled true to that offense. And I don't see a disposition, Your Honor. On January 13th, 2005, this is the first offense as an adult, the defendant was arrested for theft of property 50 to 500. She was placed on 6 months deferred adjudication. On February 20th, 2009, the defendant was arrested for a false alarm or report. However, those charges were dropped by the arresting agency. On April 7th, 2009, the defendant was arrested for theft of property, $50 to $500. She was convicted of that offense and got 27 days jail. On September 3rd, 2009, the defendant committed the offense of robbery. She was placed on 5 years deferred for that offense. On June 4th, 2011, the defendant was arrested for theft of property less than $1,500 with 2 or more prior convictions. It appears that was reduced to theft 50 to 500, and she got 30 days jail for that offense. On August 30th, 2011, the defendant was arrested for theft of property less than $1,500 with 2 or more prior convictions. That charge was changed to theft of property less than 50 with a prior conviction, and she got 60 days jail. She was also arrested for burglary of a habitation and received 4 years deferred probation. And then on April 11th, 2013, the defendant committed the offense of theft of property less than $1,500 with 2 or more previous convictions. She was confined for 180 days for that offense. And then we have the current cases pending before the court, and that is the summary of the criminal history.
Okay. Does Dave have anything else to offer?
Nothing further from the state. We rest.
Any argument?
We just request that she be allowed a mental health bond, given the circumstances that she needs to address her mental health issues.
Your Honor, the state is going to oppose the granting of a mental health bond. First, in the mental health assessment, there is a report of aggressive behavior. Also in the probable cause affidavit, there's multiple mentions of the defendant threatening to assault someone. She also picked up a knife in the kitchen while threatening that. In the criminal history, there were several assaultive incidents, as well as robberies and burglaries. For the safety of the community, the safety of the defendant, we're going to ask that you deny the bond at this time.
Well, I rarely give bonds on stuff like this, but I think the last adult offense I heard was a few years ago. And I think you need a lot of help and with your kids and the situation that you have going on with CPS. I think you need to, one thing that's going to probably help you is if for no other reason, you need to do what you got to do to get your kids back, or at least have a shot at it. So I'm going to go ahead and give you bonds on these cases and get you out and get you started on the process. Take your medication because it's the fastest
Thank you.
way to get you well. You're going to also be ordered to do whatever CPS tells you to do. If you break the CPS rules, you're also breaking the bond rules. And so if I find out you're not doing what CPS tells you to do, we'll put you back in jail. That's just kind of how it works. Tony is here. She's going to share some information with you about what you've got to do. You've got to call her every week, let her know how you're doing. She's going to give you all the help she can give you, but make sure you also do the CPS stuff, okay? You can go ahead, Tony.
Thank you.
Tanisha, my name is Tony. I'm going to be your caseworker while you're on the mental health bond. My goal is that you do what you need to do so that you don't end up back in jail, okay? So the first thing I need,
Yes, ma'am.
I was unable to get a hold or get you a ride, so you'll have to call a ride when you get released. And then call
Yes, ma'am.
tomorrow morning and we'll talk about what needs to be done, okay?
Can I give you the number 8214? Because that number, I've had it for less than a month, but I should be able to call. It's 214-854-0710.
And this is going to be your number?
Yes, ma'am. And another number, 843-941-1702. Because I don't plan on having any contact with my husband.
Okay,
Can I give you my brother's number or no? Just wait.
we'll do that tomorrow, okay? Just call me tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Call her as soon
And
as
we'll
you
go
get
through all
out.
this, all right?
And the
Yes,
other
ma'am.
thing is you've got to come see me once a month. We'll talk with Tony about how you do that. You may not have to be here right now because of COVID, but we're going to monitor how you're doing and provide you all the help we can give you, okay? And good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have another?
You'll have another mental health one?
I have two more.
Okay. Which one is your other one?
Whittington, and I have Karen Hale.
Hell.
And Tony, I did get your message about Miss Whittington. I'm probably going to call you.
Karen Hale?
Do I leave my mask on? Oh,
If you would raise your right
I'm
hand.
sorry, who'd you want?
Karen Hale.
Do you want Whitting? Hill? Okay, Hill, sorry.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Karen Sue Hale.
Okay, and you're presently in Collin County Jail on what charge?
It's over 1 under 4 possession of a controlled substance.
Okay. And have you ever been diagnosed with any kind of mental health issues?
Yes.
Tell me the first time you received a diagnosis for any mental health issue.
I was 13, so I guess I was in 2002. I was at North Texas State Hospital. Oh, no, wait. The first time was in Millwood, like before they sent me to North Texas State Hospital.
Okay, and what were you diagnosed with?
Oh, God. So it's severe clinical depression, anxiety disorder, bipolar, PTSD. I don't think the schizophrenia came till later.
Okay. And have you been taking medications for those issues?
I have on and off over the years, but I've been essentially homeless since last November. So I haven't had transportation or, money or anything else. So I've been off since last November.
Okay, we'll talk about that in just a second, but so on your mental health assessment, it says that you've received treatment from LifePath, MetroCare, Medical City, Green Oaks, and you said North Texas State Hospital, University Behavioral Hospital, Denton, Glen Oaks. Does that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am. I don't remember ever going through LifePath, but I mean, I will, obviously. So, yeah.
Okay. And what medications were you prescribed the most recently?
Well, oh God. I also, when I was 16, I was killed in a car wreck, so I suffered from a traumatic brain injury because of that. So I don't remember exactly everything I was taking, but I've been on Depakote, Seroquel, Trazodone. Those are just
Okay.
Boost Bar. Oh God, I can't even tell you everything.
Okay. So let's go back to your living situation.
Alexa.
Okay. So and then was there Effexor as well?
Yes.
So let's go back to your
Those what they had me on safety.
Okay, so you had medications at Safe P?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's go back to your living situation. If you were to be granted a mental health bond, you understand that you have to go to LifePath and get services and maybe be prescribed medications and take all the things that you're prescribed. That you would have to call Tony Fox once a month. She's one of the people in the video here. And I'm sorry, once a week.
Okay.
You'd have to show up to court once a month, or you'll have instructions how to do that. And have all these things, you're doing all these things, but you may need transportation and you'll definitely need a place to stay. So where would you stay?
With my friend Michael Luna.
Okay. Is that where you were living?
In Salina.
Okay. Is he aware that you're in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you did finally make contact with him?
No, but when I got arrested, he had to come pick up my purse. So they contacted him. So
okay, so he knows where you are, and you have no doubt that he's willing to put you up.
Yes, ma'am. And I mean, if anything changes, I will contact you first.
Okay. And so how would you get transportation to places you need to go?
Doesn't LifePath help you with that?
LifePath does have services available that you can apply for, but in the event that doesn't happen, is he going to be able to help you out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I don't have a doubt in my mind that he would. So,
would you have access to a telephone?
If I can get it out of evidence, I don't know why they put it in evidence when they arrested me. But or I got my check today, so I could just go over to Metro and get me a new phone, like as soon as I get out.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay, I'll pass the witness. Thank you.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Hale. My name is Kate.
Hi.
I'm a prosecutor for the state. I just have a couple of questions. Will you tell me about your relationship with Michael Luna? Are y'all partners or just friends? Tell me a little bit about that.
I met him when I was 16 years old because he owns a paint and body shop in my hometown. So I met him when I was 16, and we've been really good friends ever since for the last 15 years. So,
okay.
It's nothing more than that.
Now, does Mr. Luna have any kind of drug issues or
Oh, no. He's my safe place.
Okay, so he is a safe place to go. He's not going to be a bad influence on you?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay. Nothing from the state, nothing further from the state.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing from the state. We rest and close.
Any argument?
I'd rest and close and just request that the mental health bond be granted. She has a good support system, and I believe she can follow the terms and conditions.
We'll defer to the court.
Okay. Ms. Hale, we're going to go ahead and give you a bond right now. You've got to do what you say you're going to do. We're going to drug test you. So
Yes, sir.
if while you're out, we test you and you have anything in your system that's not supposed to be in your system, you go back to jail. So
Yes, sir. Just so you know, I smoked weed the day before I got arrested, so I might still have a little bit in my system because I've only been here less than 3 weeks.
well, we expect
So
you
I'm,
to.
I'm
We
yeah. I
want it-
mean, but y'all can test the levels, right?
Right.
Okay.
But just expect to be drug tested, and you can't have anything in your system other than your medication. You've got to take your medication, okay? If they
Yes,
decide
sir.
you-
And
you put, if
I'll
you-
get on those as soon as possible.
okay, but if you need to go to a rehab center like Nexus or something like that, I mean,
No, sir. I don't believe so.
well, I don't know either. I'm just saying if they decide that's what you need, that's where you're going.
Okay.
That's going to become part of
Okay,
your
that's
bond.
fine.
Okay. All right. Tony's going to talk to you here for a second.
Hi,
Yes, sir,
Karen. My
thank
name
you.
is Tony. I'm going to be your
Hi.
caseworker while you're on the mental health bond.
Yes, ma'am.
I was unable to get a hold of your ride, so you'll have to call when you get released. And I want you to call me first thing tomorrow morning so that I know that you made it home okay, and so we can discuss what you need to get done within the first 7 to 14 days, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And I'll be giving all your information when I leave, right?
Yes, actually, you'll find a folder in your property that has some additional information along with my contact information.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. You've got to come see me once a month, and you'll talk with Tony about how you do that, okay? Expect
Yes,
to be-
sir.
Okay. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Are you done, Leah? You have anything else?
I have Miss Whittington. But
What is it? Is it
it's a mental health bond.
okay. That one. All right. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, you can go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
June Marie Whittington.
Okay, and have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health conditions in the past?
I have. I've been diagnosed with PTSD, severe anxiety and depression, and a sleep disorder.
And have you received any treatment for that?
I have.
Where have you been for treatment?
I have been to Nexus. I've also been a member of LifePath, and I am just recently filled out paperwork and been accepted into LifePath again.
Is that for an inpatient type of thing?
It will be outpatient.
Okay. And have you been prescribed any medications for these mental health issues?
Yes, I have.
What medications are you taking or were you taking right before you got arrested?
It was a brand new medication, so I don't know the name of it, but the infirmary did some research and they called LifePath, and so I'm not sure what they're giving me now. And then but I am taking my PTSD medicine, and I'm also taking trazodone for my sleep disorder.
Okay. Now, we're here to request a mental health bond, meaning that you would get out of jail and get treatment for these conditions and do whatever you're supposed to do on this bond. But I understand you have some concerns about the deep lung device on the car. One of the other conditions of just regular bond on a DWI charge is that you have to have the deep lung device. Are you Are you aware of how you're going to be able to afford that?
That is my concern because I am recovering from a broken pelvis and broken ankle. And I have not worked in about 4 months to recover from these, and I do not have a job at this time, and I'm indigent, and it's a big concern. If I'm responsible for those things, I cannot say that I will be able to execute those things, and I might just end up right back here.
Okay, because if this bond weren't granted, if the state doesn't file your case within 30 days of you being here, then they have to let you out. At some point, you're going to have to deal with how to pay for it, or address the court and say whether or not you're driving, or ask for some alternative way to get tested. So, you have any idea if you have anyone that will help you pay for that, or? It's going to be an issue at some point.
I just can't sit in jail until I don't have probation or any of these stipulations. Can I just wait it out in jail?
You know, I think once a PR, Your Honor, would you be able to address it? Once a PR bond is granted, they're going to kick her out.
If she signs it, yeah. What happens is once you've done, is it Class A?
It is. It's a second.
After 30 days, you'll be offered a PR bond, and the PR bond would, if you sign it, that would get you out of jail. So, but you still have, as a condition of that bond, you still have to have a deep lung device or a scram unit or some other alcohol monitoring system in place. It's required by law.
So I'm gonna have to have that device put in anyway.
You'll have to have something in place to monitor your alcohol intake as a condition of either bond or as a condition of a probation or whatever.
She doesn't sign that bond, she just stays in jail?
Stay in jail.
Okay, so Ms. Whittington, before, I don't want to waste time. If that's what you want to do, I'll stop trying to get you out of jail if you want to stay there. Is that what you want to do?
Only unless I'm not gonna get to have to buy that machine. That's the only way I want to stay. If there's no way around it, then I want out and start looking for a job. Can you give me time to find a job before I have to get these things?
You'd have about 7 days.
I mean,
And I've just received, actually, and you have a car, so you'll have to have the device. Okay. And as far as I know, Your Honor, I don't think there's any sort of discount or indigent. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think the cheapest device is probably the deep lung device.
Yeah, and I think it's $100 a month, give or take.
I don't know, something like that.
So Ms. Whittington, you want me to go ahead and just stop right now, and you want to wait in jail for your case to come up?
no, not if it's not going to do me any good. If I'm still going to have the device, I might as well get to it and try to get working on it.
Okay, because you will have a 7-day window to try to get that on your car and show proof of it. Okay, so if you were to be released, where would you stay?
Well, I would probably go to my mother's house and pick up my car and then start checking out shelters.
Okay. Have you talked to your mother?
I have not.
But it's your car and you own it. She doesn't have the ability
Yes, ma'am.
to. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be able to get a hold of a phone in order to call Tony Fox here once a week? Or would you have a phone?
I think my phone is currently shut off, but we'll work on that as well. I mean, I'm gonna have to get out there and find a job immediately. Will they give me, if I get a job and I don't get my paycheck for 2 weeks, will they give me leeway on that machine?
I think there's a deposit. Yeah, I think you have to pay a deposit of some sort.
He said he thinks you have to pay a deposit of some sort.
And then have it installed when I get my first paycheck?
Yeah, so when you
Within
check
7
in,
days,
when you
yeah.
check in with the bond people in Collin County, you got to work with them and just see how much leeway they'll give you. So I don't have like a definite clear answer, but I know the best you can do is try.
Okay, and that's the people that install the machine is who I need to work with at this point?
Well, once you get out on bond, you would have to report to the Community Supervision Department in Collin County in the courthouse and meet with a bond officer. And that's the person is kind of your go-to person about bond conditions that aren't mental health conditions. Tony here, will you raise your hand, Tony? Tony here is the mental health bond person. So any mental health bond issues that you have, you talk to her.
Okay.
Okay, so you would.
Let me interrupt here for a second. Kate, do you have any idea when y'all might file this case?
Let me look, Judge.
I think it's a blood case.
Oh, is it a blood case?
I think so. Let me double check.
How long has she been in jail?
It was a breath sample, Judge. And what was the offense?
Breath?
It was breath on September 11th.
Sorry, you're correct.
So we're 10 days from 30 days. Y'all might be able to work out something where you could get it pled and avoid all the money.
Okay, so if we get it filed, if we rush it,
That might be.
And then work out a plea agreement. Is that something?
Yeah. I mean, that just sounds like that might be the best way to go for her, money wise, if she's in that kind of a situation. So, I mean, I think the best thing to do right now is don't grant a PR bond and just see if y'all can kind of push it through. It's just breath. It shouldn't be very hard. And then y'all just have to work on trying to work out a plea deal.
That's
that
what
makes sense.
Leah, is that
Is
something
that all right?
that can work?
Ms. Whittington, they're going to try to get your case filed as soon as they can. So legally, if they get it filed within the 30 days, you're not entitled to a PR bond anymore. And then, but if they get it filed, then I can talk to you about trying to dispose of it so it can be behind you, and then you can just get mental help on your own. So based on the circumstances financially, adding more stress to the situation, if you're getting medications in jail, let's just go ahead and hold off on this. And I'll visit you next week and we'll talk more.
Does that work?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Anna.
Do we have any more mental health?
Hello is mental health and
Hello?
Oh, a little bit of each.
joking, and he's ready to go.
Okay.
Thank you. Maybe
Leah's done though, right? See ya. Yes, ma'am.
Just one mental health?
All right. Where is? There we go. There we go. You're muted. This is Michael Capello.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to.
All right. Yeah, let's do the mental health bond first. I think you have a plea also.
2 pleas, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about the given this cause be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I'm sure.
Is it Michael or Mitchell?
Michelle,
First name.
in Spanish, Michelle, and in English, Michael.
Michelle Palacio
Copello.
Copello, right?
Yeah, Copello. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Did you want to call your client to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Capello, I discussed with you the mental health bond on your pending felony possession case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We talked about that? Okay. And you understand that you're asking the court to release you on your own recognizance, but as a condition of that, you're going to have to do some things. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand that you're going to have to check in once a week and with the court once a month. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to say yes. Okay.
Yes.
Because she has to transcribe. Okay. And my understanding is as part of your release plan that you might be going to a rehab. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that if you go to rehab and we know you're there, that you don't necessarily have to do the in-person check-ins, but you still may have to call in. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand, should you fail to do anything that the judge orders you to do while you're on this bond, to include to take any medications you need to take, that he can and most likely will pull the bond and you'll be back in the jail. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Pass witness.
Any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Capello, my name is Kate Harrison. I'm a prosecutor for the state. I just have a couple questions for you. You mentioned that you want to go into rehab. Do you know what facility you're trying to get into?
Oh no.
Okay.
I know how. I know how an idea because I'm not from here actually.
Okay. So I assume you haven't made arrangements with any rehab facility to like leave today and get checked in tomorrow. You just hope to get into a rehab facility?
Yes, I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. And if you don't get into that rehab facility, do you have a vehicle that you can drive to check in and come into court?
No, I know how to drive, but I know transportation that give me the facility for coming to the court.
Okay. So you don't have a car. Do you have a telephone?
No, not right now. No.
Tell me a little bit about your living situation. Do you have someone to go live with if you're released? If you don't get into rehab, do you have someone to live with?
Oh no, not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. I'm homeless.
Okay. Okay, pass the witness.
Just real quick, Your Honor. Mr. Capello, you met with somebody there at the jail to talk about a release plan. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And as part of that, you were talking about your living situation and trying to get into a rehab, sort of a shelter rehab, and that that you're currently working on that process, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you get in there, you will have a place to live and we'll know where you're going to be at. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Pass witness.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing further from the state, but we would like to read in the criminal history.
Look, defense arrests then on the motion for a bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now you can do that.
On May 16th of 2020, the defendant committed the offense of theft of property greater than $100, less than $750. We do not have any disposition in that case. On May 24th of 2020, the defendant committed the offense of theft, $750 to $2,500. And that case is currently pending in County Court 1. On August 7th of 2020, for the offenses for which he's having this hearing today, I apologize. And then we have some out of state on January 2015. On February 16th of 2015 in Florida, the defendant was arrested for resisting an officer without violence. And he was sentenced in that case, but I do not have the actual sentence. On November 9th of 2015 in Florida, the defendant was arrested for burglary of a dwelling, making an assault or battery, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The burglary was abandoned. However, the battery was sentenced to. I do not have an actual sentence, but it does show he was sentenced. On September 19th of 2018, the defendant was arrested in Florida for possession of cocaine, use or possession with intent to use a drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. And I do not have a final, I do not have a final disposition on that. That concludes the criminal history.
You rest.
The state rests and closes.
Okay. Any argument?
I just have one question, Your Honor. If I can ask the state on the Florida batteries, at what level are those?
The
Do you know?
battery was a misdemeanor, and
Okay.
like the burglary was dropped.
Yeah. Having gone to law school in Florida, I can say some batteries are non-assaultive. So, Your brief argument. We would ask that Mr. Capello be granted the bond. If the court is concerned about his current living situation, we would ask the court grant the bond on the condition that he be released into some sort of shelter rehab so we know where he is, and allow us to continue to work that. However, he qualifies. We don't have the specifics on the Florida, and I'm taking, as the court knows, I'm taking care of his 2 misdemeanors right now, and we're waiting on a felony possession, which he could be in for quite some time if we don't try to get him this bond. So that's all of my argument.
Judge, the state's going to oppose the granting of this. In the mental health assessment, it does report the defendant has attempted suicide 3 times in the last 5 years, and he was sober during he reported being sober during all of those attempts. He reports hearing voices telling him to hurt himself and having violent dreams. The state is certainly concerned about his own safety at this point. And then while that battery out of Florida is a misdemeanor, it still is indicative of a violent nature. So we are going to oppose also, he reported having no car, no phone, no one to live with. I hope he can get into a rehab facility, but it doesn't sound guaranteed at this point. So we are going to oppose.
What I'm going to do is take it under advisement. If we do find a place for him to stay and rehab, I'll reconsider it and possibly grant it. But until we have a stable place to get him some help, I'm not going to grant it this time. So, but I'll take it under advisement, and Tony will work with Matt on figuring out what to do. So, okay. Thanks.
Understood, Your Honor.
Tony and Kate, we still have pleas to do, right?
Yeah, we still have 2 pleas, Your Honor, on the
Okay.
misdemeanor theft and failed ID.
Okay. Thank
Judge,
you all.
do you need me?
No, thank you.
Right.
Judge, I'd like to stay just to make sure that whatever he's pleading to may or may not affect what we need to do with the bond.
I will let you stay.
Thank
I
you,
don't know
Judge.
how, I don't know how to get rid of just one person. All right, let's see if I can find this.
Yeah.
Both these pleas the same.
No, Your Honor, I believe one's a
Same.
B, one A.
The same sentence, or
Same sentence, same
Okay.
sentence. He's time served on both, Your Honor.
one's theft and one's, what's the other one?
Failed ID, I believe.
Okay. All right. Mr. Capello, if you would raise your right hand again, you swear or affirm testimony about to give on these two causes to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And again, it's your true name, Michelle Palacios Capello. We're close enough, right?
You have to say yes, Michelle.
Yes.
All right. And you understand you have two charges. One is a theft case and one is a failure ID case. And in each case, you're going to be pleading guilty and be found guilty, sentenced to 45 days in jail. You'll get at least 56 days back time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you understand in each of these cases, you will be time served as of today? Do you understand that?
Yes.
To each of those charges, how do you plead?
I'm pleased. I'm guilty.
Accept or plead guilty in each case, find you guilty in each case. You'll be sentenced to 45 days in jail in each case. You'll get credit for 56 days in each case. The extra 11 days will go towards court costs, and you'll be time served as to time and court costs in each case, okay?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Michelle, if we get the shelter situation squared away, the court has said he'll reconsider letting you out on the bond. So we just got to get those ducks in a row, okay?
Okay.
All right. You'll be seeing me. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Judge.
See you later.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all have a good day.
You too.